Hello there, I'm Ajit from USA Production and welcome to nukeX tutorial series. This series is actually based on a book. If you do not have this book, then I will provide the link in the description and you can download this book from there. Or you can visit the Foundry's official website and you can download this book from there as well. So because I like the concept of this book, how they started from the beginning and they go up to the advanced level, means you can start nukeX with nothing and you can reach up to doing compositing for blockbuster Hollywood movies. So this is on the page number 269. We got our important topics, compositing with nukes, and here they organize the sections, and from today we are going to talk about the managing scripts. There are a lot of sections you can jump around. If you know already managing a script, then you do not need to watch this video. So we'll talk about in detail, everything in detail. Indirectly, I want to convert this written book into the video tutorials. So I will recommend you first you download this book and then you can follow my tutorials. And now let's start with our first chapter, first section. That name is managing a script. So managing a script is nothing. We have to start with the project settings. Project setting, you can jump over project setting from the edit, and here you can get project settings. And the shortcut key of the project setting is S, so you can make your cursor over the node graph area, and from here you can press S, but make sure your cursor should not be in the monitor area. So go to edit and insert the project setting. Here you will got this property of the project settings. There is nothing, just if you want to save your project, for example, first you start with the saving things and just give the name, any name. For example, I'm just giving the test. And after the test, the comp inside the nuke, the compositing is saved as .nk. Remember, like nuke, so nuke is a short form like .nk, so it always support .nk script. Okay, so any name, and after that you can put .nk, and after that you have to select the ranges or frame range from where to where you want. For example, by default is selected frame range from 1 to 100 and frame per second. This is most important thing. So I will recommend you, either it depends on your camera settings, I'm not going with that things, but if you are doing some compositing kind of thing, I will highly recommend you should go at least 29.97 or around 30 frame per second, because this is ideal for compositing. Later on, when you are giving the final file or final editing, then you can reduce this frame per second up to 24, doesn't matter, but do composite in at least 30 frame per second. And the third thing is full size format. So here exactly you can see from your monitor size, it is about 2K super full HD, or full monitor, it's 35 mm. Okay, so you can select your full size format up to your requirement. For example, if you have your footage in 4K Ultra HD or just HD like 1920 into 180, then you can jump over that format size. And the third thing is proxy mode. Why they make proxy here? If you are going to check mark on proxy mode, as you can see, here are some changes. This icon, it turned into yellow. No, it's red because there is no media, but when there is a media, then it will turn into yellow color, sorry. That means your proxy mode is on. And what it does, it's reduce some resolutions according to your settings. For example, if you have selected your proxy mode to scale, and now you can reduce your scale. As you can see here, the monitor size is now selected 720 into 405, and this is the very inappropriate resolution. You cannot export. You can actually export, but this will be very bad resolution for your final comp. So this is just kind of to preview your final comp, because finally you have a great script here. You arrange a big tree, and now you gonna play that script, and that will definitely, if your computer, maybe your computer you are having supercomputer, even though that will have some lagging and your video will not play smoothly or real time, then the proxy mode is help you to play the things in real time. So from here you can decrease or even you can increase the scale, proxy scale. For example, the by default proxy mode is selected, sorry, the file size format is selected HD or 1920 into 180, and according if you are going to increase or double making double the size of this HD, then you can just put 2 in the proxy mode, and here you can increase the double the size of your full size format, and now it is selected for 4K. Okay, so proxy mode is not working to reduce the size, but you can increase the size as well. Okay, increase the resolution as well. So here by default is selected 0.5. that means whatever 0.5. So whatever full size format is selected, that will show half of that that format. Okay, and the proxy mode is available in 2 form, and second thing is format. And if you do not want to play around with the scales and you got some confusion, then just click on format, and from here you can select some lower format that can easily preview by your computer machine. So this is the proxy mode. Okay, after you set your project settings, and the second thing we are going to talk about, the loading media. You can import almost all kind of format that are available for media, such as JPEG, PNG, EXR, PSD, Photoshop file, or in video format such as .mov, .avi. So all the major formats are available there. You can import inside the nukeX. So how can you do that? Simply either you can import the read node from the image toolkit. Just select image, go to image, click there, and you'll get read node. Or you can just make sure your cursor is in the node graph area, and from here you can press tab key from your keyboard, and from here you can search read node. Okay, so immediately when you will click on the read node, it will pop up the read files, or you need to locate, or you need to give the destination of your file from where you want to import. Mine is in the desktop, and I'm going to show you to import this file in the PSD format, because other format is very easy, but PSD it's little bit complicated how you can arrange that things. So I'm gonna import here PSD file. Select this, because I made yesterday some thumbnail kind of thing in using Photoshop. So I saved that for Photoshop file like just in default format .psd, and I'm gonna import that PSD file into the nukeX now. Just click on open. So our file is here, and now this file having multiple layers. If you want to know where are the layers, then simply you can click in this area and you can find out the layers from here. Okay, so background, Fusion Studio, layer 1, layer 2, versus. There are so many layers are available there in this PSD file. And how can you understand that this file having multiple layers? Then you can understand by this RGB, red, green, blue, plus the green color is here. That means this file included multiple layers in it. Okay, and now I'm gonna connect this file to the viewer node, and it will show the result something like this way. But where are the layers? Because we want to work on different layers, because Photoshop, inside the Photoshop, this layer is different, this layer is different, this layer is of course different, and this layer is also a different layer. So how we can make separation of that layers? Read node properties is changeable. It depends on the format that you are going to import. For example, if you are importing the normal file, normal like any MP4 file, then this read node having different property. And now you want to import the PSD file, then it will have some different properties. And here you got different PSD options, that is a breakout layers. Okay, when you will click on that breakout layers, and it will break all the layers that I have used here inside the Photoshop. Okay, and if you do not want suddenly you're clicking here, but your nukeX is not working, is there something problem? Then don't worry. As you can see here that we use one media file and they used different shuffle nodes. Shuffle means it's kind of when you doing shuffle your card, that means you want one separate layer at one time. Okay, so just delete everything and we'll try to do this thing manually. Okay, and without clicking on this breakout layers, just we want to shuffle the nodes. Okay, and inside the shuffle node we have to jump over the shuffle node. You in the new version of the nukeX, you'll get the shuffle node something like this way, and this is very easy. We easily can understand what color is connected to which color. So red is connected to the red, green is connected to the green, and blue is connected to the blue, and alpha is connected to the alpha. So from here you can select your layer. As I told you, from here we got different layers like versus, layer 1, layer 2 of Fusion Studio, as you can see from here. So you can also view, for example, if I'm gonna click on Fusion Studio, then it will show only that Fusion Studio text. And if you will click on versus, then it will show you only versus, because it is having different layers. So for this particular shuffle node, I'm just selecting any layer you can select. For example, you can select or you can make new one as well. You can select the background. So our background is white. So this shuffle node is having background, only background image. And a second shuffle node we need and here we can insert another layer, such as I'm gonna with Fusion Studio, but you cannot see this because your viewer node is connected to the shuffle 1 and now connect to shuffle 2. Okay, and after using merge, because this is our background and this is foreground, and now you can connect the final result. Then our background is white and there is a Fusion Studio text, something like this way. And you need another, and insert the shuffle node, third shuffle node, connect here and select the layer that you want For example, background is already selected, Fusion Studio selected, layer, I think, what is the layer? Yes, okay, nukeX. And use another merge node. This is suppose this is this whole thing is like background, and this whole thing is like foreground, and now this thing will look like something like this way. Okay, and similarly we need another shuffle nodes, and we can import all the layers that all the Photoshop having. Okay, so manually we can do like this way, or just we can double click on that read node or this media, because this is a Photoshop media. So we got the breakout layers automatically, this option, so you do not need to play around the manual things. You just have to press one click and it will make all the shuffle node for you. And one important thing, the merge is not from Nuke. This merge is from Photoshop merge, as you can see here, PSD merge. But every time you have to delete the crop and merge by default. Okay, and you have to take manual merge that is available inside your Nuke. Okay, so according this book, if you will read about this book, then this book is saying something that your PSD file operations or the blend mode of the Photoshop will never match with the operation mode of the nukeX. Where is that? PSD. Okay, read this. The blend modes in PSD merge are approximated and do not match Photoshop exactly. So this is a disadvantages of nukeX. Actually, whatever you have done in the Photoshop, that will not exactly match. If you especially if you have used some operations or blend mode inside that, then that blend mode, or here in nukeX is called operation modes, will not exactly the same. Okay, so the final result will be the little different, not totally different. Okay, so don't worry if your Photoshop is showing different result, and the using merge and operation mode inside nukeX is showing different result. Okay, delete this whole thing, and you can rearrange. After that, you can rearrange the merge nodes, and you can look for the final result. And don't forget, if there is some alpha, suppose in your image if there is alpha, and you don't know whether there is alpha or not. Alpha means some transparency, and that will separate your foreground and background. So you are not sure whether there is alpha available or not available, especially when you are importing some video files like .mob, .mp4 or .abi. Then definitely, because that is a video file, they're not alpha. Alpha cannot be present there. So always inside the read node, when you're going to import your media, you'll got inside the color space, you got this auto alpha if options by default. So make sure you have to check mark on this auto alpha. So in case this will not generate alpha in your video or in your media, but it's a kind of great step that is specially taken by the professionals. So don't forget to check mark on auto alpha. Okay, according to the book is saying like that way. So now you can whether you are confirmed there is alpha or not, but make in practice that every time you have to, after shuffle node, when you are importing the PSD file, after shuffle node you have to import the pre-mult node, because pre-mult is defining the final result of the alpha image. So here you can search pre-mult. Okay, you can copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, something like this way. And after that, use a merge node. For example, I'm using merge, and this is suppose I don't know whether we have to check what is there, is its background. So select this as a B or as a, and now we got this thing. Okay, we have to take another merge node here and select this everything as a background and this new thing as a foreground. And now we have to, okay, we got verses, and again we need another merge node here and select this is as a foreground and this whole thing as a background. And we got the text Fusion Studio, and the final thing, I think it will be logo. So make sure this is whole background and this is foreground. And now when you will look for the final result, then it will look something like this way. As you can see, there is a difference between this text and this text. Okay, this image or that image, that final image. Why this difference is there? Because we are not getting the shadows and the text shadows and this shadow. Why? Because this is done in Photoshop, and Fusion Studio is not understanding that blending modes, whatever blending modes you have used inside the Photoshop. So manually you can make that inside the nukeX. That will not come here automatically. Okay, so this is how you can import the media inside the Fusion, nukeX, I'm sorry. Okay, moving for the next thing, we have to take, actually, for example, this is a read node. Okay, this is a read node, and here it is about the file from where I have the file directory from where I have imported this PSD file. And second thing is localization policy, and this is also very important to improve your practice in nukeX, but I'll talk about this thing later. And read node itself is allowing you to change the format. You can select here different format as you want. Okay, mine is available in 1920 into 180, so I will go by default. And if you have a proxy file, remember I have explained this is a proxy mode. Okay, how it is working, look at there how it is working, because it by default from the project settings, press S here, and you will get here our proxy mode is selected in this root proxy format 640 into 480. So final result, when you're going to preview our image on the monitor, then when we are going to proxy mode turn on, then the result will be something like this way. Now that reduce our resolutions into from 1920 into 180 to 640 into 480. Okay, this is the lowest resolution of that proxy mode in format. Okay, once I'm going with the scale, but scale, it will not change any aspect ratios of the image, because we are not playing with the resolution of the image, but we are playing inside the scale mode. We are playing in the pixels, so we can low down our pixels of this image, as you can see here. Okay, so lowest scale I put 0.1, and as you can see how that image is changed in that pixels. Okay, and the size of that resolution, that screen resolution, is 192 into 108. Okay, so you can play around with property scale. This is how you can increase or decrease the pixels on your monitor. It helps only for viewing or for preview kind of thing. Okay, always when you are going to render out this whole things, just remember to turn off this proxy mode. Okay, so that thing is also available in a read node. For example, if you have the separated or proxy file that you can import, and you can do all the compositing in that proxy file. After that, when you are going to make this export in a final result or for final project, then you can replace your original file with that proxy file. Okay, so this is how the proxy is also working in read node. And this is again the frame ranges. Okay, because mine frame is 1 to 1, because this is just a single frame. It's imported from the exported from the Photoshop and imported here in nukeX. So mine frame ranges is available 1 only, because this is 1 frame only. Okay, and this is frame expressions. So frame expression is very important. For example, when you want to your current frame should be for example, you're working like 1000 frames, and there is 10,000 frames, and you want that your current frame should be 500 something. Then you have to type here, for example, I want to make current frame like 80 something. Okay, then I will type here one expression, frame plus, and I want to go to 80 frames. Okay, I want to make 80 frames as a current frame, then I have to type 79. And once I will do this, press enter, then the 80 frame will be your current frame. Okay, why it is not changing anything, and why the timeline is no change there on the timeline? Because we have only 1 frame there. Just I'm giving the expressions to make you understand things. So for example, your video is there about 1000 frames something, and you want your video always start from 50 frames or 55 frames. Or indirectly, I want to say that you want to make your 55 frame as a first frame. Then you have to type expression like start at and dot, type that frame name. For example, 55 is I want to make 55 frame as a first frame here on the timeline. Then I will press enter, and it will give me warning because my media there is no available 55 frames. Okay, next thing we are talking about the reformatting image sequence. Suppose this image we have just made from Photoshop, and the resolution of the image is 1920 into 180, and the second image I'm gonna import here, or you can import by just dragging and dropping things. Okay, so logos, suppose this DaVinci Resolve here. Okay, and now this image is having different resolution, and of course this image is having different resolutions. And to view this, as you can see, our image having only HD 720. This is the resolution of this image, and you want to reformat it, or you want to resize it, or you want to make the same size as your previous images. Then always make in practice that how to do the reformatting. Okay, just you have to insert the reformat node, and as you can see, our image is convert from 720 to 1280 to into 720 to 1920 into 1080. Okay, so this is how you can change the sizing, or you can make the same size of your project settings or your format that you are working in. Okay, and here from here, you inside the reformat node, you can select your format, whatever format you want to work on. Okay, now last thing is how to save your comp file or script. So it's very easy. Just go to file, and here you got a save comp and save comp as. Okay, if you have already work with your compositing, then just save comps every time. And if you are working the new project and you have already one comp and you want to rename it, then you have to select comp save comp as. Okay, but after that you got some automatic or autosave options inside the nukeX. Okay, and I will recommend you should turn off that autosave, because autosave is nothing. Whenever you are just working on a test file or something, that always save in just in 5 seconds by default. Okay, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever time you have set it there in the preferences. So I will never recommend you to turn on this autosave, because it will just generate more and more temporary files, and it will one day it will make a slow down your computer. So go to the edit and click on preferences, and inside the journal you do not need to jump over any options. Just inside the journal you got autosave option from here, and by default mine is selected 00. When you are when you will visit in your preferences inside the journal, then you will get some like 5 seconds here and 30 seconds here. So put there 0, and that will stop to generate the temporary files by auto saving things. Okay, and this way you can increase the speed of your computer. So don't do the autosave kind of thing, because the autosave compositing file will always save here in this directory. Turn off the autosave. Just by putting 0, it will automatically turn off. Okay, there is no option to turn on or turn off, but by hitting the 0 second in both sections, idle comp autosave after, put 0, and force comp autosave after, just put 0, and it will turn off your autosave kind of things. Okay, so this is how we have followed the book. And from here jump over 269, sorry, 269. Okay, so we have completed our managing script, and from next video we'll talk about reformatting element and channels, merging images, and so on and so on. And the king will be because I'm expert in king, so I want to cover this topic like in my way. Okay, so I hope you got something new from this video, and of course I will provide the link of this book so you can follow the book. Definitely there is a lot more things to learn. And thank you so much for watching this.